Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eileen Cardenas, and for today's vlog we are going to be discussing chapter 5, Girls, 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 the apocalyptic strain in pop culture, the American nightmare becomes the American dream, Netflix and the future of television. So a quick breakdown. Chapter 5 is about the apocalypse, the meaning of the word apocalypse and the shift that it has in pop culture, and how women in pop culture, especially on Netflix, are central to stories of crisis, survival modes, and change. We see that Pratt, the writer, sees apocalyptic not just as a destruction or as a more as a symbol of transformation, especially in women role characters. So we're going to be looking into specifically reflect of culture shifting, particularly around gender, targeting females and the identity. So when we think about the word apocalypse, like I mentioned, we usually think about destruction, about chaos, maybe the end of the world. But Pratt argues that it's more than just that. It can mean change or deep gratificational transformation. And that we see that transformation particularly in women who are portrayed in today's TV shows, especially leading role female characters. They're portrayed in survival stories leading back to trauma. But when we see these stories, it's about they can also be about fighting women who fight back, who are redefining themselves through a hard journey that they've had in life, as well as navigating broken systems and how they are placed in these situations at an early age. But in a sense, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's destruction, but more often women being portrayed as more of an emotional life dealing situations through these TV platforms. Women's stories often show personal or society breakdowns as a path to empowerment and self-discovery, leading them to have mixed liberations with fear, highlighting tensions of their past or backlash between the progresses of them redefining themselves. The next is streaming platforms like Netflix, giving these women the space to create these stories, especially strong and complex female leads. So a story that stood out to me was Orange is the New Black, how a lot of those women are put into jail because of crimes that they've committed, but it also gives us a general idea of their background history and how they grew up, what family situations they go through, what trauma they experience to get to where they are. So it's a series of personal struggle as well as social struggles, that their worlds become messy, broken down, but it's also things that happen in real life. And these women, through the stories, through these platforms, are just trying to find themselves and fight back to redefine who they are. So now let's talk a little bit more about the pressure of network TVs and TV ratings and creators having more freedom to take risks with these female driven narratives that are bold and edgy and often very exposed to the public. Pratt points out that these characters often live in worlds that are falling apart emotionally, socially, politically, but they at the end redefine who they are, and the meaning of the word apocalypse becomes a little bit more personal. A big theme in this chapter was power, especially in female identity and sexuality roles, how women are able to explore more and be more in control, are able to explore and are shown how women are controlled more by the system, by society, by expectations, by trauma, but they push back and they overcome all of these norms that are placed onto them. by showing how resilient and how brave they are to overcome these. So for today's vlog, we discussed a little bit more of the meaning of the word apocalypse and how it can have a different meaning embedded to it. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys liked the vlog or if you guys have any suggestions, and I'll see you next time.